What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today we got a story of a spoiled brat that ends up punching the teacher over the fact that the teacher said that TikTok was bad. And this spoiled brat was like famous, quote unquote, on TikTok. So he was like, oh my God, you can't speak poorly about TikTok. Take this in the face. But yeah, it ends really, I'm not going to say it ends poorly because it ends pretty satisfyingly. The spoiled brat does get karma, don't worry about it. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy this story, so sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Gavin. So anyways, Gavin had this kid in his class who we're going to call the spoiled kid, and the spoiled kid had 5,000 followers on TikTok. And I don't want to say anything bad about 5,000 followers on TikTok because I know that when I hit 100 subscribers on YouTube after about like 2 years of doing it, I was super excited back in 2016, right? So I'm definitely not shaming you or anything if you think that a couple hundred followers is big or a couple thousand is big. Honestly, I don't even think that like my number of subscribers is big in like the big scheme of things. But this kid really let the 5,000 TikTok followers go to his head. And it's totally cool to be proud about having like a handful of followers or whatever, but definitely don't let it go to your head. Even if you're freaking PewDiePie, don't let it go to your head, right? So he posted like clips of like him playing Fortnite or something, and he kind of it became like his personality, right? The fact that he had 5,000 followers on TikTok, but he also made it like an excuse for him to not do anything he didn't want to. For example, actually, where the story starts is Gavin, another kid, and the spoiled brat were all put in the same group, right? It was a group project in this class. And, the group project was supposed to be divided up fairly evenly between all the kids. And that was supposed to be done via the group. Like the group was supposed to divide up all the stuff. It wasn't like the teacher said you get to do a third, you do this third, and you do this third. It was kind of just implied that all the kids were going to do an equal third. But turns out, right, Gavin was telling them like, hey man, like I'm not going to do anything because I have much bigger things to do. And they're all sitting at the table, or not Gavin, the spoiled kid. And like they're all sitting at the table, and Gavin kind of looks at the spoiled kid. He's like, bro, what are you talking about? You're not going to do your work. Like, of course you're going to do your 1/3 of the work. Like, it's really not that deep. Just do your work, bro. He's like, no, you don't understand, man. Like, I gotta grind on my TikTok, bro. Like, I'm blowing up with these Fortnite clips. I have 5,000 followers on TikTok. What do you have on TikTok? 20 followers? That's what I thought. Shut up. Sit down, kid. I'm better than you. Take this L. I'm not doing anything. So at this point, Gavin and the other guy are pretty upset at the spoiled kid because they're like, bro, you really can't be saying like, oh, I need to spend all my time posting Fortnite clips. This guy posted like 1 or 2 Fortnite clips a day on TikTok, which you do not need to spend 17 hours out of your day to post 2 clips of you smacking kids in Fortnite, bro. Like, it's really not that difficult, and it's also not that deep, and it really should not take you that much time. And these weren't like hyper-edited clips or anything that might genuinely take hours and hours for like 10 seconds. These are just like clips. And the thing is, the majority of the clips got like 10 views on his TikTok account. It's just one of them went like super viral and got like 2 million views, so he gained 5,000 followers really quickly. So it's not like this kid had a consistent audience that would come in every single day. It would be like 50 views, 20 views, 500 views, 10 views. But bro had 5,000 followers, so it went to his head, and he was like, I gotta grind my TikTok, man. This is my future, not school. And Gavin was kind of thinking to himself, or he said this out loud, actually. He's like, bro, I get it. You don't think this is your future, but also I don't want my future to be doing all your work because you don't think this is your future. That's not what I want my future to be. So Gavin and his friend, basically, or the other guy he was with, basically said, hey, spoiled kid, you need to do X. Like, they kind of lay out what he needs to do. Like, you need to do it, or like, I don't know, there's going to be consequences, right? He doesn't specify what. He's like, dude, just do it. And the spoiled kid's like, fine, whatever, I'll just do it. The spoiled kid does not end up doing that part of the presentation, right? He's too busy smacking kids on Fortnite and posting them for 10 people to watch, right, on TikTok. And Gavin and his friend are pretty annoyed about this, so they meet up last minute and they realize, like, the spoiled kid has done none of his presentation. We just got to do this really quickly. So they quickly do the last bit of the presentation, or I should say group project, because they didn't present it. The last bit of the group project just by themselves, and they got like a B on it, which is fine. But they definitely probably would have gotten an A if the spoiled kid did his part of the presentation and Gavin and his friend didn't have to do it last minute. But whatever, right? So that bit of the story is low-key just context to the spoiled kid, because when things really get intense, when things really get crazy, is right now. Because today they came into class, and this was a couple days after the group project, so Gavin and his friend are still pretty upset about the fact that the spoiled kid basically decided to dip on them and just like not do any of the work. They were pretty upset about that. But anyways, they're in class, and the teacher decides that, he's going to have a very different type of presentation today, a very different type of of school day, right? So normally, I think this is like a history class or English class or something like that. But today the teacher, I think he read like some article about how bad TikTok was, and it inspired him that he was going to do an entire class segment just on how bad TikTok was. So they walk into class, and the spoiled kid sits down, Gavin sits down, everyone else in the class sits down, and the teacher starts to go on and say, so you guys might have this app called TikTok on your phone. I just want to say I need all of you guys to uninstall it right now. Which, first of all, I agree, TikTok is pretty sus, and the algorithms are definitely pretty malicious, in my opinion, and they definitely are just not, it's probably not good for you to be on TikTok too long. I've deleted that app like 7 times. It's so easy to quit. I've quit 10 times, ha ha ha, right? But yeah, no, but it's a little bit of in my opinion, it's a little bit of like a step, like stepping over the boundaries for the teacher to say, oh, take out your phones right now and delete TikTok. So, I don't think any kids actually did that, but, the kids took this as an opportunity to go on, in their Instagram or their Snapchat for, a minute as to pretend that they're uninstalling TikTok. And then after they're all on their phones for a minute, pretending to uninstall TikTok, the teacher goes on to say, well, now you guys are probably wondering why I asked you to delete an app on your phone. Well, today's presentation will show you why. So the teacher goes on to show all these slides and whatever. He's like, oh, there's the government spying on you. The algorithm is making you addicted and depressed or something like that. Which, yeah, I will say that I found the TikTok algorithm leaves me feeling kind of bad after I'm done watching TikTok for 20 minutes. And I just have not found that same thing with the YouTube or any other social media. Other social media maybe, but I feel like YouTube, when I'm done watching a bunch of YouTube videos, I actually feel a little better or the same. But for some reason, when I'm done watching TikTok videos, I just feel drained and bad. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe that's not a universal thing. That's just an experience. But anyways, he's talking about how TikTok is bad, how TikTok's addictive, how TikTok is the worst or whatever. And the spoiled kid, whose entire personality is the fact that he has 5,000 followers on TikTok, wasn't that big of a fan that this teacher was saying all this. In fact, he was big angry. He was big mad, right? The teacher was not happy, or the spoiled kid was not happy at all about this. So, in the middle of this presentation, the spoiled kid literally stands up, and at this point, Gavin kind of looks over because he sees the kid in his peripheral vision stand up quickly, and he looks over. This kid is standing straight up, and, Gavin's like, bro, what is this kid about to do? This is kind of weird. And the spoiled kid goes in and be like, you're wrong. Just saying, you're wrong in the middle of everything. So the teacher is in the middle of his presentation, and he kind of, looks up and looks around, and he sees Gavin, standing up and saying, you're wrong, right? So he's like, oh, what? What are you saying, Gavin? First of all, don't interrupt me like that, but... what are you saying? And Gavin's like, TikTok is not bad for you. How could it be bad for you when I have 5,000 followers on there? Bro didn't even give a solid argument back. He literally just said, he just wanted an opportunity to flex on everybody. He's like, how could TikTok be bad if I have 5,000 followers? Bro just wanted an opportunity to say, I have 5,000 followers, I swear. But anyways, the teacher goes on to say that, no, I've read all these studies. They keep you addicted on the site. The site is not good for you. Sure, it can be fun in moderation, but, most of you guys are definitely not on TikTok in moderation. Yeah, it was definitely kind of a boomer-y, presentation. I'm not going to lie. However, he still kind of has a point. I think it's a little bit weird for the teacher to be like, you shouldn't be on TikTok, and here's why. But at the same time, I don't know, he still kind of got a point. It's not like the presentation's actually going to make any of these kids not go on TikTok, but it's also not super harmful. And the spoiled kid is taking it very, very, very seriously and personally. So, the spoiled kid is like, I think TikTok is great, and you're full of rubbish. I'm not addicted at all. I'm not addicted, not even the slightest. So when Gavin hears this, he's like, oh yeah, of course. The kid who says he can't even do our classwork, right? He can't do the homework, right? He can't help out the group. because he's too busy doing his like TikTok clips. Yeah, this kid is definitely not addicted, right? Oh, 100% no. He can definitely go without it. That was sarcasm, by the way. And so the teacher goes on to say, okay, well, I got a challenge for you. And this challenge should be super easy for anyone who's not addicted, right? Go 24 hours without going on TikTok. And the spoiled kid, I would have thought that the spoiled kid would have been like, no, I need to make more content, right? But I think the spoiled kid was really just trying to own the teacher super hard. And the spoiled kid would probably go home and go on TikTok anyways when he gets back. So he just says, challenge accepted. I'm going to show you that I'm not addicted at all, and I'm going to own you. And, the teacher's like, okay. So spoiled kid sits back down. Teacher just goes back to their presentation. And the spoiled kid is sitting there all smugly. Like he's sitting there with this smug little grin on his face. But literally, and I mean literally, 2 minutes, like 120 seconds. I don't mean like, a little while later. I mean 2 minutes. 2 minutes, right? Gavin looks over. He sees the spoiled kid is on his phone. But the spoiled kid is not just on his phone. The spoiled kid is watching TikToks, bro. Like, the spoiled kid is watching TikTok videos. Like, this kid is straight up 100% addicted to TikTok, bro. Because he said, oh, yeah, I'm going to prove you wrong, Mr. Teacher. I'm not going to go on TikTok for a whole 24 hours. And literally 2 minutes after he says that, he's on TikTok in class, watching it not at no volume. He just doesn't have the caption on. He also has the volume up a little bit. Yeah, and that's when the teacher notices that the spoiled kid is on TikTok. If you made it this far into the video, comment spoiled down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. I know it's not very secret. You guys can sometimes guess it, but I'm not trying to make these words too difficult, right? Or too obscure. And if you want to farm some hearts and try and become like top commenter or something cool, comment spoiled down below, because I'll try and heart as many of those comments as possible. Also, if you want to support the channel, the best way you can do so is just by watching old videos, and a really easy, after this one, of course, don't click off this video, but a very easy way to do that is to watch my Storytime playlist. It has all my stories, and I linked in the pinned comment down below. So if you decide to support the channel by watching old videos, maybe via the playlist, let me know in the comment section down below if you're doing that, just so I can say thank you to you guys for supporting the channel, as I really, really do appreciate it. Anyways, let's get back to the story. So just a little recap. The teacher says the TikTok is bad. The spoiled kid says TikTok is not bad and that he is not addicted. The teacher then challenges the spoiled kid to not be on TikTok for 24 hours. That wouldn't be super hard for someone who isn't mega addicted to TikTok. And, the spoiled kid smugly accepts the challenge. And within, literally, 2 minutes, the spoiled kid is back on TikTok, kind of proving the point of the teacher. And that's when the teacher sees that the spoiled kid is on his phone and sees that he's on TikTok. So the teacher literally stops his presentation. So the teacher was in the middle of a presentation talking about how TikTok is bad or whatever, and he just stops it. But the thing is, right, the spoiled kid does not even realize that the teacher has stopped his presentation, because the spoiled kid is watching a TikTok video of funny Fortnite moments number 7,426, right? And the teacher walks up to the spoiled kid. And the spoiled kid at this point is so he's just so deeply involved or is focused on his TikTok videos, the funny TikTok video he was watching or whatever, that he doesn't even realize that the teacher is standing right above him looking down. And the teacher did have a bit of a smile on his face. The teacher probably was definitely gloating a little bit, because he did. I mean, bro, when this kid rudely interrupts your presentation and you challenge him that, oh, you can't be on, you can't go without a day without TikTok, and he proves your point in class 2 minutes later, it's you seriously couldn't ask for anything better to prove your point. So after a second, the spoiled kid starts to realize, he just gets a sense that someone's looking at him. He looks up, he sees the teacher, he quickly turns off his phone and puts it in his pocket. And the teacher's like, so you couldn't even go 2 minutes, man? And the spoiled kid's like, that wasn't TikTok. And the teacher's like, are you sure? It sure looked like TikTok. And the thing was, Gavin saw it, and it was 100% TikTok. He saw the likes, he saw the scrolling, it was the videos, it was exactly 100% TikTok, right? And the kid's like, dude, no, it was my photo app. And the teacher's like, seriously? You were just looking at your photos? That explains why you were watching a video and you left a like on it and then scrolled to the next TikTok? And the kid's like, it doesn't matter. I'm still not addicted, bro. And like at this point, the teacher's like, okay, well, you did disprove my point, like that you couldn't even go 2 minutes without going on it, right? Like, and you also said that you wouldn't go on for 24 hours to prove your point. So I kind of feel like I disproved my point and you kind of just like conceded here. The spoiled kid did not like hearing this at all. He was not happy about this. He's like, it doesn't mean anything. In fact, it just means that it's really good. That's why I keep going back. And you know what? Do you have 5,000 followers on TikTok? I didn't think so. And the teacher was like, like, that's cool that you have a thing going on there. I'm just saying the app itself isn't good. And the spoiled kid's like, I think you're just jealous of my 5,000 followers on TikTok. And the teacher's like, congrats on that, but I'm also just not jealous because I don't go on TikTok and I also wouldn't really care. And since I don't go on TikTok, why would I care about having some followers on there? Like, that really doesn't make a lot of sense. But still, congrats for you, but also the app is bad. And the spoiled kid was starting to get really angry. And the spoiled kid starts to threaten getting lawyers involved. I know that sounds like a pretty big logical leap, but the spoiled kid was getting so mad because he was low-key getting owned in this conversation. I mean, when you say that, oh, I'm not going to go on TikTok for 24 hours, and then like 2 minutes later, you're on TikTok, right? And the teacher calls him out on it. He's like, so at this point, the spoiled kid's like, if you don't stop talking bad about TikTok, my employer, I'm going to get lawyers involved, and they're going to sue your butt off. And the teacher kind of looks at him and is just like super confused. He's like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And the spoiled kid's like, it does make sense. And the teacher walks closer to him to kind of like continue the conversation. He's like, I'm just saying that like TikTok isn't good and it's keeping you addicted. And the spoiled kid's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And the spoiled kid like raises his fist, clocks it back, and then whoosh, swings on the teacher, makes connection with his face, boom. Or like I should get boom. Ow. Okay, that kind of hurt, bro. But I had to do it for the YouTube video. I had to do it for you guys. Make sure to drop a like in the video for the pain I just went through. But anyways, right, so he makes contact with the teacher's face. And the thing is, right, I don't think the spoiled kid was like some crazy martial artist that's actually super good at this or something, or I don't know, like he's some god at like fighting people. I think he just accidentally swung and got a really clean hit because the teacher literally he doesn't fly back, but he like falls backwards onto the ground. And at this point, the spoiled kid literally reaches in for another punch. Bro wasn't even doing one punch, he was doing multiple punch. And bro was really fighting the teacher to defend the honor of Fortnite? Or not Fortnite, of TikTok? TikTok isn't your mom, bro. Lay off this guy. Jeez. But anyways, right, so all the kids start to a bunch of kids rush up and they pull the TikTok guy back or the spoiled kid back, and some other people go over to the teacher to make sure he's okay. So the spoiled kid didn't knock out the teacher. He didn't fully get him or he actually might have knocked him out briefly, but he did knock the teacher down on the ground. The teacher gets up, he's like, what did what I think just happen? And because Gavin went over to the teacher to make sure he's okay, a bunch of other kids made sure the TikTok kid didn't swing again, or the spoiled kid didn't swing again. And, Gavin's like, I barely believe it too, sir, but you're right. You did just get swung on, right? And at this point, the teacher's like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Yeah, so the teacher is kind of just in complete shock and disbelief. Honestly, Gavin is kind of shocked too, because it escalated really quickly. Like in the beginning, the spoiled kid was definitely speaking out of line and definitely being a little bit aggressive. But it escalated quickly to I'm going to sue you, and then literally getting punched in the face, which is pretty ridiculous. But the teacher, once he kind of regained his senses and he wasn't as shocked, because for a good minute, he barely said anything, the teacher did, because he was just so flabbergasted by what happened. Because you don't expect your kid, a kid in your class, to punch you in the face because you said, oh, big corporation bad. It's not like his dad's the CEO of TikTok or something, or it's not like he's birthed from TikTok's algorithm. His mother is not the algorithm of TikTok, bro. Come on, chill out. So eventually the teacher gets it together and is like, do you know what you just did? And looks at the spoiled kid. And you can tell right away that the spoiled kid is already regretting his actions. He's shying back. He's starting to sweat a little bit. He looks super nervous, right? He definitely knows that he messed up big. And the spoiled kid's like, it was an accident. I fell into you. And the teacher's like, that's not true. That's not true at all. And, the spoiled kid looks to everyone in the class and is like, guys, back me up. And the thing was, the spoiled kid had been acting super arrogant about his 5,000 followers on TikTok. And one thing's for sure was that Gavin and the other guy in the group with him and, the spoiled kid, Gavin and that guy were definitely not going to back the spoiled kid up because they already saved him for not doing any work, which Gavin doesn't even know why they did. They honestly should have ratted him out, but they just didn't feel like doing all that, right? They're like, nah, that's just not worth it. But yeah, they're definitely not coming to his defense a second time. They're not backing him up again. And basically everyone else in the class had felt slighted in one way or another by the spoiled kid and his obsession with oh my god, I got 5,000 followers. That's why I'm a jerk to you. Oh my god, guys, I have 5,000 followers. That's why I'm ignoring you. Oh my god, guys, I have 5,000 followers on TikTok. That's why I'm being such a jerk to you or whatever, right? So no one in the class really liked this kid or came to his defense at all. And, yeah, so the kid is kind of looking around very frantically, trying to find someone who's going to defend him. But everyone, first of all, no one's going to lie just to defend the spoiled kid. And also, the truth was the spoiled kid was the one who punched the teacher in the face. That's just reality. That's just what happened, bro. That's just how it went down. There's nothing you can really do about it. That's just how it went down. And the teacher knows what happens, too. So they're not going to be able to convince the teacher otherwise. So the teacher walks up to the spoiled kid, grabs him by the scruff of his collar, and is like, you are coming with me. So the rest of this is kind of not from Gavin's perspective, because obviously Gavin did not go to the front office with them. However, Gavin heard news from other people, from I don't know, word got out pretty quickly. And this is just what Gavin heard, so I'm going to fill it in as if Gavin was watching this from as if he was a fly on the wall. So the teacher's dragging the spoiled kid down the hallway, right? And the spoiled kid's like, I didn't do anything. And the teacher's like, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I know what I saw, and everyone else in that classroom can back me up. And the teacher had this bruising. The teacher's face was already bruising on one of the cheekbones. There was already evidence on this teacher's cheek, as well as 20, 25, 30, I was going to say 50, but I think it's a little smaller, 30 kids that are eyewitness accounts too. So the spoiled kid knows he's screwed at this point. They go to the front office and, after a bit of questioning, I guess the principal or whoever is the one who's sitting there with the spoiled kid and the teacher is just kind of why? The principal just doesn't understand why the spoiled kid did it. And the spoiled kid's like, he was making fun of my passion. And the teacher goes on to say, I was doing a presentation about why TikTok's algorithm is dangerous. And he's like, no, he wasn't. He was saying that I was stupid. And the teacher's like, no. And I have a bunch of kids in class that can attest that I wasn't saying that. And the principal even says, even if the teacher was saying that you were stupid, which he shouldn't have done, but it doesn't look like he did. Let's say he did. That still doesn't give you the right to punch him in the face. That's a very serious, offense or whatever, right? So the spoiled kid kind of just takes the L. And while this might be shocking to some people, if you hit the teacher, you will get in trouble. And yeah, the kid got an entire week of in-school suspension, which is normally when you're suspended and you go home, maybe your parents can be super strict, but maybe you can get away with just playing video games the whole time. No, with in-school suspension, you literally have to sit there in school doing nothing or maybe having to do your homework for an entire week. So yeah, the spoiled kid was also not able to post TikTok videos. They found his account and they basically said, if you post, your in-school suspension will double or something, which is dang, they kind of ruined his TikTok career. That was kind of sarcastic, the TikTok career part. Bro got 10 views per video, man. I think he can take a break. But yeah, moral of the story is don't punch your teacher over TikTok because TikTok
Click on the video
is not
on
your
screen
mom.
right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.